Hi friends, this is Krish the Urban Naxal, and we are talking about risk distribution and transactions and contracts. So in the first video today, I explained how buying a house, even if it's a ready possession house, is substantially more risky than buying a fruit, a banana, a bunch of bananas. The reason it is more risky is that the transition from having a bunch of money, a few lakh rupees, which you have to give to the other guy, and for that guy to give you the title to your house and the possession to your house, that is in steps. Whereas if you're buying bananas, you hand over 50 rupees with one hand, you take the dozen bananas with the other hand. It's a lot safer. It's a lot quicker. There is less scope for you to say that, well, I already gave you the money, I don't have to give you more money, and you take the bananas for free. Or for him to say, you didn't give me the money, I don't have to give you bananas, and the fruit guy is cheating you. This kind of thing, there is less scope for that to happen because the transaction is instant. In the case of buying a house, even if it's a ready possession house, you're not going to go hand over a bag with 60 lakh rupees and take the house. That's not happening. That's not how the transaction works. So there are phases. You give him a token. There is a risk you are accepting when you give a token. You will have an MOU with him saying, today you have accepted the token. That means that we have locked this price. You are not going to sell the house to someone else. There is always a risk that he can go and sell the house to someone else after taking your token and not return your token, not even refund your token. There is a risk. That risk has to be managed. A small amount of risk is manageable. You hand over the money, you sign an MOU. With the MOU comes a confidence that you will be able to raise a commotion. You will have something in hand. You have proof for raising a commotion, for quarreling with him, and if necessary going to court. Now nobody wants to go to court to get 2 lakh rupees back. It's not easy going to court for getting 1 or 2 lakh rupees or 50,000 rupees, small amounts like that back. It is very difficult. The cost of going to court will probably be more than the money you're getting back. So you don't want to do that. But you can at least raise a commotion. You can, shout. You can shout in social media. So there is some scope for you to fight back if you're given him a token where you have proof. Now if you don't have proof, you're given him cash, no proof. You can't say anything. He will say, where is the proof? You're not giving me any money. Now, this is the risk, and we talked about how he takes one step, you take one step, he takes one step, you take one step, and finally, in the end, he has all the money and you have the house. So this is purchase of ready possession house, or this is the purchase of a resale house. Ready possession house, you buy from a builder. Resale house, you buy from someone who is already an owner, maybe an investor, maybe an actual user. The steps are similar, or it is almost the same. Now we will talk about under construction and why it poses risks that are beyond your ability to distribute them evenly and to manage them. Guys, we also had this example about a jewelry store where the jeweler has the CCTV cameras. The jewelry store has the CCTV cameras. If you don't give him money, or if you snatch a chain, the CCTV cameras can be used by him to make you look like a crook, and for him to go to court and use it as proof. But if the jeweler, the jewelry store, acts crooked with you, the proof is also theirs. The camera is theirs. The CCTV footage is theirs. They may see the footage got deleted. So you will not be easily able to use that as proof. And in that way, the risk is unevenly balanced. It is there is more risk on your side and there is less risk on the side of the jewelry store. So this is how risks become unevenly balanced. Now let us talk about what happens when you buy under construction property, because here the risk is increasingly being handed on to your side and the profit is going to the side of the builder. I want to explain how this shift happens and how the risk gradually goes from it looks manageable to it looks completely unmanageable, and I'm completely at risk, I'm completely exposed, I'm completely in danger of being cheated by the builder. So let us start. Let us say you receive a call. The caller says, "Sir, are you looking for houses? Are you looking to buy a flat?" You say yes. Is it a ready possession flat or is it an under construction flat? You say, "I want to buy a ready possession flat and I want to move in as soon as I can." So they say, "Yes sir, please come to the site." You go to the site. Again, the person over there also asks you, the seller asks you, "Sir, are you looking for a ready possession or an under construction?" Again, you correctly say, "I am looking for ready possession flat." Why? Because you want to move in immediately. You are interested in a flat. "Sir, are you willing to wait?" he asks. Now, you're a normal, rational human being. You know that this process is going to take some time at least. It's going to take at least a month, maybe 2 months, before you can give the money to him and he can give you the possession of the house, because there are stages. You'll have to have a registered agreement and you'll have to disburse a loan. You may have to free up some funds. It's going to take some time, you know that. So you say, "Well, I'm okay with a month or 2 months delay." So he's established the principle that you are willing to wait. Now, typically what happens in the under construction property sales business is they start by asking you, "Do you want ready possession or under construction?" And if you say you want ready possession, they will say, "Sir, in ready possession there is not much inventory, but in under construction we have got good number of inventory." So you say, "Okay." Then he says, "Sir, it will be ready within 2 months." There are properties which, today we are in January 2023, he will say, "Sir, in April 2023, it will be ready to possess." You say, "Okay, April 2023 possession, I am okay with that." Now what happened is you shifted in your mind from a property that is completely ready to a property that is almost ready. It is like saying खाना तैयार है, ऊपर कोथमीर डालना बाकी है. Little bit of spices have to be sprinkled on the food, otherwise the food is ready. So you say, "Okay, why not?" So you accept it. Next thing that happens is they have taken you from that where they say the OC will come in April in 2 or 3 months, but it is still under construction. And they may do 2 or 3 different things. One of the things that they will do is, "Sir, for this deal you have to give us a token." He will show you some inventories. Now he said there would be a lot of inventory, but suddenly for some reason they are going to say there are only 3 flats available. Earlier they had indicated that they had a number of flats. Suddenly, from when you are made to go from Mr. A to Mr. B, so from Mr. Amit you go to Mr. Bimal, and Mr. Amit, the salesman, says there are lots of flats available. Mr. Bimal says, no, in our project the demand is very hot, we don't have that many flats available, so you will have to, we'll show you the inventory in this typology. They will ask you which typology you like. You say you like 3 BHK, they will say is it 3 BHK luxury or 3 BHK Premiere or whatever. Then they'll show you the typologies and then they say, yes, in this typology which you like, there are only 3 spaces available. One is on 19th floor, one is on 12th floor, one is on 3rd floor. One is east facing, one is north facing, one is west facing. Do they show it to you? Usually they don't. They will say it is not safe. We cannot get approval to show it to you. They will not show you the place. So you don't know exactly what you're taking, which means now you're only making imaginary pictures. You're thinking it must be like this, north facing will be like that, east facing will be like this, all this kind of thing. You are imagining. What is happening in this process is you are completely forgetting that the risk has already been shifted to you completely. Why? A ready flat is ready, it can be sold to you immediately. If they say an occupation certificate is awaited, I will convert that into normal human language. It means the flat is not completely ready for sale. Now he may say it is ready, sir, but OC has not come. Still means the same thing, you can't sell it, they are not allowed by law to sell it. Which means you are now beginning to be prepared to buy a flat which is not ready for sale. Now what is the meaning of being prepared to buy a flat which is not ready for sale? What it means is that you are now willing to take some risk. What is the risk? The risk is that it may not become ready for sale. That is the risk. You got money. You are going to give money. Your money is ready for delivery. His flat is not ready for sale. You've got money. You are going to give actual money up front. He is not necessarily going to give you a house for some time, for an indeterminate amount of time. He said April, he said 3 months. But as 3 months approaches, he may say 6 months. He may say 9 months. He may say 12 months. He may say next year. He may say we went to RERA and RERA gave us an extension. So this kind of thing is possible, and you are saying, when you say I am okay with April, you are also saying I am okay with April 2023, I am also okay with April 2024. You don't know it, but you are kind of saying it. They are making you say it. Now this is one level of the problem. Then there is another level of the problem. That flat is not ready. You have not seen the flat. They have not shown you the flat. You have now become willing to buy something which you cannot see, you cannot verify. Earlier, when you went for a ready possession flat, you were only willing to buy something which you could see, which you could verify. So this is now like someone saying, sir, mangoes have not yet come into the market. Mangoes are not yet in season. It is only January, but I am going to enter into a transaction with you for Hapus mangoes, which will come in May. And what happens if the season fails? Or what happens if all the mangoes that come out are exceptionally good and they are exported to Saudi Arabia? You don't know. So what they are doing is, they are creating a situation where you are getting confused between one goods which is already in existence and another goods which they say will be in existence or is almost in existence. And you are getting confused between the two categories. One is there, it is ready. Another is you may get it. So you have accepted a risk, and are you getting a reward for accepting the risk? In the normal world which we operate in, if you accept a risk, you should get a reward. For example, if you are buying something which is going to be delivered to you 2 months later and is not ready today, then you should be getting a 10% discount or a 20% discount. They'll say, no, sir, that is not possible. So And you will also feel like a fool if you ask for a discount and they say, no, it is not possible. Sir, aise nahi hota hai. That's not how things are done in this market and all that. So you are having an inferiority complex. So you're going to say, okay, whatever you say. Anyway, it will be ready in 3 months. And you commit the same price that you are willing to pay for a ready possession to an under construction. They may take you further. He may have told you a lie. He told you it will be ready in April. It may not be ready in April 2023. It may be ready in April 2024 or 2025. You cannot be too sure. He will say it is 90% complete. RERA may show it is 90% complete, but the remaining 10% may not get done. He may postpone, he may delay. Now what is happening in the meanwhile? You are giving him a token. He is giving you a timetable for paying the money. He is saying you will pay this amount of money very quickly because it is 90% ready. So he says you have to pay us 90% of the amount. So you are getting ready to pay 90% of the amount. He is not giving you the flat. You are getting ready to pay 90% of the amount. Your money will be in his possession. There is a risk now. There is a huge risk. The money that you are going to use for buying a flat is now going into the possession of a builder, of a company, a large company. If you have to get that money back, why would you need to do that? If it didn't give you the flat, you would have to get the money back. If you have to get the money back, what are your methods? Will you go to court? Yes. How long will it take for you to get the money back? Some years. But the flat is supposed to be available in some months. Yes. So you say, okay, if I go to court, then maybe I will get the money back after 3 years. But if I wait for the flat, I may get the flat next year. So you wait for the flat. So there is very little reason for you to go to court. It is difficult to make that decision to go to court. Plus, you are going to spend some money for going to court. Plus, you are paying EMIs on the 90% amount which you have already given the builder, that you have disbursed from a bank loan. So now you are thinking, should I go to court? No. If I go to court, this happens. There will be delay. Maybe he will say, I'm not giving the money and I'm not giving the flat, or I'm not giving the money until the court case is settled. So you are afraid. So what has happened is, that example that I gave you about the jeweler and his CCTV cameras, same thing starts applying to you. All the proof, all the possession of your money is with him. The possession of his flat isn't with you. The whole deal has become biased towards him. It is now leaning in his direction. You have got all the risk. You got all the cost. All the cost is on you. Cost of interest is on you. If there is a delay, the cost of that delay is on you. Because you are going to pay interest. You are going to pay more interest and you are not getting your flat. You are also paying rent for the house you are living in. So what have they done? What they have done now is, they have made you accept a deal where all the risks are loaded on you. Now again, as I said earlier, if risk has to be loaded on you, you should be rewarded for the risk. In the real world, in the world where people carefully take a decision and don't take impulse purchase decisions, you always think about how you are going to be rewarded if you are taking a risk. For example, if you are going to book mangoes, hapus mangoes, now in January, you will say, okay, if the market price is 1,000 rupees or per dozen for a very good quality, large export quality mango, hapus mangoes, I want to get the same hapus mangoes at 300 rupees a dozen, at 30% of the cost. Then I will take that risk of booking 6 months in advance. But if you are not getting any reward, Oh sir, mangoes will be 1,000 rupees a dozen. You can book early. What is your reward? Sir, you will get it. I will get it in any way. I will get it at that time. I will go and buy it in the market. I may bargain and get it for less than 1,000. I may get it at 500. Why should I pay 1,000 to you now? So in this way, when you are talking about risk, you are always looking at whether you are getting rewarded for the risk. In the case of under construction, there is no reward. There is no reward whatsoever. The builder will tell you, he will in all the writing, in all the registered agreement clauses, it will be written that, for example, if the government increases the FSI, which is the development potential, then he will build 3-4 more floors or 10 more floors. He will get building permissions. He will profit from it, and you are going to write, I have no objection to him profiting from it. So all the profit will go to him. Is he going to reward you for that? No. Will there be a delay in the project because of that? Definitely. There will at least be a delay of 2 years. If he increases his FSI and if he starts building the taller, if he makes the towers higher, or if he starts building more towers, there will be a delay of a year or two. Your children will have less space to play. Your tower will not be complete. He will get part OC for the lower floors. You will have people living in higher floors. There are so many downsides to it. Your lifts will be slower. Suppose there are 3 lifts and instead of 20 floors it becomes 30 floors. It means that you will have to wait longer for those lifts on the way out and on the way in, and especially on the way out. If you're going out, you're standing at your floor, let us say 20th floor, and the lift goes up to 30th floor and comes down full, so you don't get into the lift. Then again it goes up and again it comes down and you don't get into the lift. So in this way, you will have a longer wait for the same lifts. The clubhouse will be more congested. The facilities will be more congested. The swimming pool will be more congested. Your cooperative society will be larger. You will have all kind of losses, but the agreement that they have made you sign says that I don't mind. It makes you, so what is happening is, you are taking the risk that the builder is actually going to make a profit, more profit than he expected. He is going to delay your project even more than you expected. Where is the reward? There is no reward. There is only risk and there is only loss. You are suffering a loss either which way. So why would you want to accept all those losses? Why would you get into a transaction where you are accepting even the loss of a little bit? Don't accept a loss. Go for ready possession only. I am Krish, the Urban Naxal. Jai Maharashtra. Jai.